Okay, this is our most fun formula that we have, right, for this whole module 2. It's the most exciting one. It is partitioning a line segment or splitting the difference. You can call it either one, will work. So we're going to talk about splitting the difference, and I just have a little sample problem up here and a very roughly drawn x and y axis over here. As you can see, it says find the point y, so there is no y, right? We have to find it. That splits segment xz, this is segment xz, into a ratio of 2 to 3. Point x is located at negative 2, comma 2, so that I put it right there, and point z is located at 6, comma 6. All right, so we put those there. I just went ahead and graphed them, but I kind of wrote it out here also because my graph is a little rough. You might have to count them, if on a grid on the test, but it will be an exact grid. All right, so let's go ahead and get our formula of doom, as we called it in class, which turned into our formula of semi-doom because a lot of people started to understand it. Yay! So let's go ahead and go over that formula. So remember, to partition a line segment, we're going to go ahead and remember it's really long, but really we're just doing two coordinates here. So for the first coordinate, I'm going to do the a over a plus b. That's the first part of it. And then the second coordinate starts the same way, a over a plus b. And then I'm going to do my closed parentheses. So the next part of the formula, if we're remembering it in order, is going to be the change in x, x2 minus x1. And then on the y side, we'll just have y2 minus y1. As you can see, we have sort of a little pattern here. And then we're going to just add x1 back to that and add y1 back to that side. So this is our beautiful formula of semi-doom. And it's actually going to be our favorite formula soon because y'all know it so well. All right, so let's figure it out. What is the A and the B? The A and the B refer to the ratio. This one clearly says they want it in a ratio of 2 to 3. So the 2 will be our A and the 3 will be our B. If they would have said a ratio of 2 to 3 like this, 2 would still be A and 3 would still be B. The only time it wouldn't be we wouldn't substitute these A and B's is if it did not say ratio. If it just said 1/3, we want to find a point 1/3 the way from x to z, then you would have just used the fraction 1/3 instead of this a over a plus b. But we don't have to worry about that right now because it says the word ratio. That's the magic word that we're looking for, ratio. And we saw it, right? Here's the magical word. I'm going to put some stars by it because it's so exciting. All right, so let's fill those in. So first we have our a over a plus b. I'm so excited because y'all know how to do this already. You could probably pause the video and do it yourself and find the answer. All right, so we have a over a plus b, so that would be 2 over 2 plus 3. And over here, I'm going to do the same thing, right? 2 over 2 plus 3. All right, we got something, right? Now we have our coordinates over here, x to z. So I'm going to go ahead and write my coordinates over here. My x coordinates, if you look right here, it says -2. So we're going to have to write -2, comma 2. And then the z is 6, comma 6. So these are going to be our x1, y1 are going to be this x, and the z will be x2, y2. All right, so let's go ahead and do the next part of our problem, which is x2 minus x1. So that would be over here, we would have our x's would be 6 minus -2. And then we're going to add back x1, which is the -2. See, let me change colors. So we got plus -2. And then on this side, we have y2 minus y1. So our first set of coordinates were the x's, right? So y2 would be 6 minus y1 would be 2. And then we're going to add the 2 back. So I keep forgetting to change colors for that last one. Let's add the 2 back in a nice pink color to keep our colors So you can see how they're moving down. All right, so I'm going to go back to purplish, and we're just going to keep going down until we solve it. So 2 over 2 plus 3 is the same as 2/5. Over here we have the same thing. We're going to bring it down 2/5. And then we're going to have to distribute that to this 6 minus -2. Let's just figure that out real quick. Minus -2 is the same as +2. So this will be an 8. And then over here we have 6 minus 2 is 4. I'm just doing these one step at a time because I'm changing colors, but you can always do this whole thing first and then this whole thing first, whichever way is going to be easiest for you. And then we're going to add that 2 plus -2. And on this side, we're +2. So let's go ahead and multiply this out. 8 times 2 is 16. So on this side, we're going to have 16/5 plus -2. And on this side, we're going to have 8/5, right? Because we did 4 times 2, plus 2. All right, so if we want to change these 2 into fifths so that we can easily do it, we can come over here and do that. So -2, we want to change it into something over 5. 60. So -2 over 1 equals something over 5, right? So we can say 1 goes into 5 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. And we're going to keep our negatives. So that would be -10/5. So 16/5 plus -10/5. And that is going to equal, I'm just going to put my equals over here so we can solve it. So 16 minus 10 is 6. So our first coordinate would be 6/5. Then our second coordinate, we have 8/5 plus 2. So if we want to change our 2 into something over 5, we're going to come over here. 1 goes into 5 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. Or remember, you can just multiply both by 5. You get 10/5. So 10/5 plus 8/5 equals 18/5. So if we want to change those into mixed numbers so we can get a better idea of where it is, 6/5, if we change that to a mixed number, 5 goes into 6 one time with 1 left over, so that would be 1 and 1/5. And then 18/5, 5 goes into 18 3 times with 3 left over, right? So 3 and 3/5. So these would be our coordinates that divide xz into a ratio of 2 to 3. So the first one, let's see, would be, now this isn't exact, so it's not going to be exactly right, but 1 and 1/5, and then go up to 3 and 3/5. So it should be right about there. So this should be 2 segments to 3 segments. So that's a ratio of 2 to 3. And of course it's not exact because my grid is not exact, but you get the idea. All you have to do is plug it in and you can get the answer. Here's our answer down here. And if it's, if you need to explain, if it's a constructed response, you're just going to want to explain to me what you're doing, kind of type it in words, or you can work this out on a piece of paper in nice colors and take a picture of it and insert an image. You can do either one. All right, good luck.